Hello, hello. Thank you for joining us. This is our thankful week of Thanksgiving. And here we are. Sorry, there was a little dust bunny at my face. That's why I did that. But yeah, we're here on the Rabell Realty Group podcast, brought to you live. Thank you for coming here. I know lots of you are probably traveling, right? It's Thanksgiving. A lot of people go home. You're Tampa. I'm Gainesville. I'm staying here this Thanksgiving. You're staying here also, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. So it's the first time in a while that we're here, but I think we're going to see some trends and talk about Thanksgiving and the holidays and the trends, and we'll get back to why I'm staying home at least. So. All right. Well, thank you. Welcome, Kristen Rabell and
Rebecca Johnson. And this week, because it's the holidays, it's the short week, we are going to bypass the Monday market, but we'll do an extended version for November and kind of take a look at everything that's been going on this year next week. And so this week, we're going to talk primarily trends, getting your house ready to sell during the holidays, and decor. So
it's an exciting one for us. I love talking about holiday decor. And the Christmas music is playing lots at my house. Not so happy. Susan's not so happy with it, but Mason and I love it.
Oh, the kids and I listened to all the way down to Tampa last, 2 weeks ago. The Holly channel on XM Sirius Radio. So it was good. Yeah,
we don't listen to that, but at home, Susan will say, "Hey Google, play," and Mason will immediately say Christmas music, and then it comes on. So we get a little dance of it for a little bit, and then have to turn it off. But I love Christmas music because you only get to listen to it, once a year. I mean, unless you really love Christmas music. So I like to start in November because December's just not enough for me.
And I feel like everybody's pushing to get to Christmas quickly. I don't know if we're all pushing because we're like, it's going to start a new year, so it can't be any worse than the last two, or if it's just the fact that a lot of people didn't get together last year.
I think a little bit of both of that, right? Yeah. I think it's not necessarily for me that I notice the push for Christmas. It's just
I feel like it's getting earlier and earlier.
Well, I think that is already happening, but I think because, we kind of had to stay away and stay, indoors masked or whatever last year. It's just the holiday season is that much more important for people this year. And so some are traveling, again, Thanksgiving, maybe people only go home and home's not so far. But I think a lot more people are going home than usual. But I'm staying home to be home with the family. So we're excited to see, people at our house, hosted at the house, and enjoy the family life again. The mom, dad, and stepdad. So yeah, it'll be a good one. So we had the screenshot up there, holiday decor.
Yes.
So this year's holiday decor, I don't know. I don't think any of that is really going to be in this year. This is just a cute little slide that was found for us. What do you think the trends for holiday decor are this year?
Well, I know I had mentioned before we started that I'm actually seeing Merry Christmas a lot more than Happy Holidays. I feel like we went through a 5 to 10 year period where it was inappropriate to say Merry Christmas, and everybody was like, you have to say Happy Holidays. It's inclusive. But I've seen Merry Christmas everywhere, on pots, on decor. So to me, I've noticed that. But I think, like you said about togetherness, everything's going to be about bringing people together, cozy, warm.
I think what we're going to see, and what I feel like I'm seeing, is a lot more people getting together and more parties than usual. And I don't mean party, like rock and roll party. I just mean gatherings. A lot more intimate gatherings than you would usually go to, because you're just so excited to be out and be with friends and family. But in terms of holiday decor, even though you're saying we're kind of getting back to the traditional Merry Christmas, I'm seeing just a lot more bright lights.
Yes.
So a more lit up Christmas decor. And I see, I remember a couple of years ago, we were decorating our trees, the tree at the office, the tree at my house, with a lot of little creatures from the outdoors and bringing the outdoors in. And I feel like I see that coming back. And then a lot of very bright colors, but on top of browns and earth tones and really nice earth tone, so it feels like you're outside, but you're bringing it in again. Are you noticing that?
Yeah, I've noticed a lot more bright white lights.
Mm-hmm.
Like I feel like a couple of years ago it was like a battle between color and white. This
Right,
year
I think we
it
had a
looks like
battle.
more. Yes,
Right.
This year is definitely more white lights, or not just white, but they're like really bright.
Yeah.
Um,
And all throughout the house, not just
everywhere,
outside. Right.
more dramatic. I've seen a lot of, and this isn't just in holiday; it's everywhere. But I've seen it in holiday magazines where they have like curtains of
Right.
white
Curtains
lights
of white
that they're
lights,
putting
yeah.
everywhere.
Which I think is gorgeous. And
yeah.
it definitely brightens up your house. I mean, I kind of already did that because I love white lights, but I think it's even more, and I'm seeing it everywhere this year. So that's kind of exciting.
I think just like people went wild with Halloween decor in neighborhoods, I think you're going to see lots and lots of Christmas outdoor decorations and gatherings, like you mentioned. So yeah, I think it's going to be a little more dramatic and over the top because everybody's craving it.
Right. So despite this year, what is your typical routine for like Thanksgiving and getting ready for Christmas?
So typically, I've always hosted, or I like to host Thanksgiving. I enjoy cooking and entertaining. So after that, chaos, and I don't mind it. It actually doesn't bother me. I'm pretty good at prepping and having it all ready, and just putting on like, I don't know, like a show. Like, here's all the food. Then the day after, we typically get a tree and decorate for Christmas. I'm kind of an early Christmas shopper by nature, but I did go ahead and get a lot of that already. Although I did think of something and I ordered it today. But yeah, and then it's just hitting all the festivities. I mean, we're pretty busy with the office. Like tomorrow's our Friendsgiving with our agents. Then we have December 3rd. We have the Light the Village,
Light the Village, right?
With our office, which all of you are obviously invited to. If you'll be getting invites if you haven't already. And then we have our Rabell Christmas party, and then it's just kind of like a slew of family type Christmas parties and
friends,
events.
right.
Like we like to go look at Christmas lights and do things like that right up until the end.
Right. And I do think that we're going to have more opportunities to see the Christmas lights because I think, again, people are a little more into the season, whether it's wanting to get to next year or just feeling nostalgic. For Christmas.
Oh, and I have a birthday in between, my daughter,
right,
on the 17th. So that's always fun. And I would be curious to hear what you all have to say. If you have a child whose birthday is in December, do you put your tree up before or after? I've always done it before, but we make her feel special for her birthday. But
so does she require you to wrap her birthday presents in birthday paper?
The child has never asked.
She doesn't really care.
She has
I
never
have a sister. I have 3 sisters, and one of them, her birthday is December 22nd, which is literally right before Christmas. So she was definitely a Christmas baby. I remember when she was born, so it was very traumatic because she actually had to stay in the hospital for Christmas. And when she got home, it was really exciting. So, and, growing up, we were really close, but she refuses, well, she doesn't refuse, but she gets really angry if you put her Christmas or her birthday present in Christmas paper.
As a sibling, I would do that to her every year, I can just tell you. But as a mom, I actually try to be very sensitive. So I always give Eva non-Christmas wrapping paper for her birthday. And we try to, make sure it feels special. But I actually think children that are born around Christmas have better birthdays because
think so too.
Parents are trying to overcompensate. I'm like, I can't even tell you what I got the baby
we're
for
a spring baby, a summer baby, the Christmas baby, and then a fall baby. So we're all for all 4 seasons.
Oh,
and I'm telling you, Amy, the Christmas baby, always seemed to get the best presents. There's more sales, right? So you can spoil a little more, and then plus you're, again, overcompensating. So you December babies, hopefully you're enjoying it.
Lucky ducks. So around the holidays, it is kind of a time that people start looking for homes and thinking about selling. So let's talk a little bit about what it's like to sell your home around the holidays, because I get asked a lot. I actually had it happen back at Halloween where somebody was getting ready for pictures and they're like, can I put my Halloween stuff up? And the answer is, let's try to get the pictures before.
Yeah. Now there's always that issue. We've had it a couple times in the past where you already have the tree up. And, then you go to put your house on the market, and what do you do with that enormous tree? And you see, I'm sure you've seen it on Zillow, Realtor.com, our website, buysellrebell.com. You see that house with that Christmas tree or definite holiday decor in the picture. And, you know, there are times when you just can't help it. You know, you've got to get that tree in. You're not going to be ready until mid-December to list. And not a lot of people really list mid-December. Some people will wait. You can hold back, but you know, for the most part, I would say you want to wait to put your Christmas tree up for pictures.
We've had people actually move it or take the decor off of it and move the tree around and just work with a photographer. It really is best. And the reason we say it's best is because you don't want to date the home. Because things happen. I've had people list their home and then need to take it off a couple weeks later only to put it back on in the spring. And then your home looks like Christmas and it's spring and they're wondering what's wrong. You can
always update that 1 or 2 pictures though. So if you feel like that's going to happen, really it's just the tree that gets in the way. You can take down the other decor.
Inflatables out in the yard,
but you can take those. Inflatables are super easy to take down and move. It's more so the tree that's not so easy, especially if you've put up all the, you know, the decor on it. Maybe you spend one night, like you said, the day after Thanksgiving, you don't go Black Friday shopping because you've already shopped and you don't want that cheap stuff. You don't want the lines.
Pay me to wait in the line.
So you put your tree up, and I think most people that I know either already have their tree up or get it up that weekend, because it's a great weekend right after you've had your Thanksgiving, you're cleaning up, you have a lot of leftovers, so you don't have to worry about cooking quite as much. Maybe you cook it a little differently. That's a great time to put up your tree. So then if you're listing in December, your tree's already up, it's already been decorated. That I would say is a little bit harder to bring down than little tchotchkes all around. Not a lot of people put up wall stuff, you know, like framed art or anything. Some people wrap their art in wrapping paper.
I've seen that.
Right.
And that
you
is
can
cute.
certainly take that down. It's a lot easier than removing the tree. I think we've only had someone remove the tree once.
Yeah. They moved it around, I remember.
Right. But you can update that one, unless you have like 9 trees, like some people I know. You can update that one room if you happen to list it later. So we would say, you know, how to get your home ready to sell in the holidays. Just reduce your holiday decor until after photos. You can certainly Christmas it up, Hanukkah it up, whatever holiday it is, you know, get it up, all your decor up there after you take the pictures, because it's okay for people to see your house decorated when they're going to look. It just dates it on the internet when you have all the decor up in your pictures.
Very true.
You want to take a break?
Yep, let's take a break.
Right, let's take a break.
I discovered Rabell Realty Group through Kristen Rabell and Rebecca, meeting them different places, showing houses or open houses that they were having, parade of homes even, and that was really impressive to me. I left my other agency and I wanted to check out several others, and the first place I came to was Rabell Realty Group, and I just liked the vibe. I liked the people that met me at the door, were friendly and said, you want to work here? Stay here, sit down, let me get you a cup of coffee. Kristen and Rebecca aren't here right now, but I know they want to talk to you. And the next thing you know, I'm talking to them on the phone and they're eager to meet me. They have marketing here that is just over the top. I feel like I can stay really current with today's market working with this company. Financially, they give me a great opportunity to make money. There's a lot of business that comes my way through working with this agency. I've already talked to several agents, young ones wanting to come here because I think it's a great opportunity for them to start a business. We're in charge of our own destiny, and they make that really clear and give us all the tools that we need to build the kind of business that we want. I find it really easy to recommend this company.
Hello, welcome back to our Thanksgiving holiday week
There you
podcast. Yes, we're here. Thanksgiving is this week. We're talking about decor for Christmas coming up. We're almost bypassing Thanksgiving, talking about Christmas, because our next topic is also talking about
we're going to get Christmas to Thanksgiving. We're going to get to the fun stuff of Thanksgiving.
We are. I'm excited about that one. So where are all the trees?
Yes. I know I'm hearing they're going to be here this week, but everybody's got their tents set up. And the only reason I've been nervous this year is because everybody's saying that there's going to be this shortage. So who really knows? To me, I feel like it's like toilet paper back in March 2020, where they're like, there's going to be a shortage. So everybody runs out and buys
Grabs
everything.
I kind of feel like we went through that last year with all the trees being gone very quickly. And
quick.
The last ones, I remember my mom going to Lowe's and the only trees available were like the shorter ones are way too large, or the scraggly ones, the Charlie Brown trees. And not everybody wants that. So I have to say, I think 2 years ago, So my entire life, I only wanted real Christmas trees. But for some reason, I think it was 2 years ago, I just decided, let me buy some trees that I can put up every single year and not have to worry about this, not have to worry about the cutting down of trees. Yes, that actually gives people money. I knew a guy from Canada who one of his jobs was because he lived in Canada, he would grow the trees, chop them down, and go sell them in New York City. And he made a ton of money. He made so much money in New York City that he didn't have to do anything else. He just had a second job because he wanted to, and he built cabinets. So I thought that was really cool. And because of that, I never am against the cutting down of these trees because they grow them.
It's agricultural.
Right. It's agricultural. They grow them. They make money off of them. They live off of them. It's like a farmer. So I love that. But I did decide to just go ahead and buy trees. I brought 3 of them. 3 very different looking trees, and I love them. But Fraser firs are my favorite if they're live. So
yes,
I won't be buying any this year, but I know
for the
everyone
office.
For the office, yeah. But I know everyone else will. So hopefully they'll come in and we'll have plenty of them and no one will have to get those last little scraggly trees.
Yeah, I think we got ours a little later than we usually do last year.
And this year.
But well, we usually get it right the weekend of Thanksgiving. So this weekend we're planning to grab it. But I know we've been asking when they're coming because now I'm just like, oh my goodness, am I going to have to wait in some enormous line or what's going to be the situation?
Worst case scenario,
I have to knock
I
like a
bring
grandma
one of my
over.
fake trees and we can use that.
I'll knock grandmas over to get to the trees and be like, get out of the way, grandma.
You dare knock my mom over.
Could be my mom.
She might knock you over, actually.
She actually might. She's
Kinda
taller than me. She might be like, get out of the way.
Tall. She's not tall. She's just tough.
She's taller than I am.
She loves her Christmas. So
she does. Yes, she does. I'll be like, you don't need 27 trees,
I
Claire.
remember growing up going to the little Christmas store on 441 on the way to Micanopy or right after Micanopy. Yeah, so we did that a lot. My mom loves Christmas. Growing up, I think I've said this before, we had like 8 trees.
Oh my goodness.
So my 3 seems excessive, but it's really not.
Actually, I think it seems pretty normal. I saw several people on Facebook this morning had multiple trees up throughout their house. Some were decorated like they went to Alabama.
Yeah, you usually
so
have
they,
like different decorations for each. Right.
So this was like their Alabama tree, and then they had their like traditional tree,
Alabama.
and then
At least it's not Georgia.
It's I'm gonna call him out. It's Jonathan Turner with Scruggs and Carmichael. I saw your tree. We see you. We know what you're about. Now I get it. That's where he went to school. But all right, so I want to talk about the next topic because it's my favorite and it's in theme for the week.
It really is. All right, so worst holiday side dishes. It's a hard one for me because I like 99% of them, but my mom's a really good cook. We all grew up with really great food. My grandmother was a really good cook. We have specific recipes that we cook over and over again. There's some that I don't like as much as others. So,
there's bad versions of every dish.
Yes, exactly.
And there's people who can cook and people who have talents in other fields.
Right.
So
let's go through this. Are you a turkey girl?
I like turkey.
Okay.
I do not like ham.
So, right. So, like, I have family members who love ham, and there are certain there's a way you can cook ham that some will eat and some won't. So there's that old, you put honey or brown sugar with
I don't care if you put
pineapples
like
or citrus on it.
Candy on
that's
it.
an old school way. Some people love that. That's very simple. Remember, we made that for your family, and your family died for it years ago. I actually recooked it and then didn't cook it long enough and really almost died from it. But my mom will make this like orange flavored ham. And although she's an amazing cook, if you ever see this, Mom, don't think I'm disparaging you for your cooking abilities, but it's a little drier than I like. So I don't love that version of it. So like you said, versions. So you're not a ham girl. But you know what we love during the holidays, whether it's Thanksgiving or Christmas, because it's kind of sometimes the same menu, is roast.
Yep. We've done a roast for Christmas.
Right.
Usually that's what we'll do for Christmas.
And then there's fried turkey versus,
I like both.
So I love fried turkey too. So that's why it's great to go to a lot of different parties where there's different chefs, because then you have more versions and you can taste the good ones versus the bad ones.
So,
and we're all good.
And we talked about, go ahead, do the next one.
Well, no, that's the main meat. I mean, I know some people actually who cook duck for the holidays. I've never had it.
We've done duck before.
At like a family home. We've had it at Mr. Hans.
Actually, we've done that for Christmas.
Because our tradition, I'll bring this up again. I think I've talked about this before. Our tradition, Christmas Eve, although this is a Thanksgiving week, is to always go to Mr. Hans. And then I get duck there because the next day we've been cooking. We'll just get the family will go together. Love it. So, so I've only really had duck there, but I know other people have had that. And I'm sure there's different cultures, that bring in different types of food that we're not talking about. This is sort of more of American fare, I believe. So there's probably a lot of things we're leaving off. Okay, so I'm going to go through the list, actually. So worst foods ever. Canned cranberry sauce.
Disgusting.
I would say that's the truth. Now, I know we talked about this. People who don't like cranberries. Now, my mom will make the best homemade cranberries. You get fresh cranberries, you boil them all day, and, you put in different flavors, and it's absolutely phenomenal. And it tastes great with, your stuffing and your turkey. So I'm okay, but canned, that's just,
I don't eat it either way. So
you've just ruined it if you have it canned. But I think canned anything is kind of gross, truthfully. That's true. And then the next one that came up was boiled vegetables.
Boiled vegetables at any meal is offensive.
Exactly. Yeah, I don't like boiled vegetables at all.
There's so many great ways to cook things now. Like, don't boil.
Why would you boil them? And I feel like you just got a can of them or the frozen and boiled. So yeah, no. So,
no, thank you.
Okay, sweet potato casserole.
I have strong feelings about sweet potatoes, so.
Yeah, so I love sweet potatoes, but
they're okay.
And again, going back to like growing up, it was always on the table, but it was always my least favorite because there's so much sugar in it. So if you cut back the sugar and cut back, the marshmallow on top, I would probably eat it. But the marshmallow, the sugar is just too much.
I'll be honest, I never heard of a sweet potato until I was an adult.
Yeah, it's so weird because we grew up with it. My
family's
family
from the north. They ate regular potatoes. I had never seen. I'm like, what is this weird orange?
All right.
thing?
Well, I think that comes up a lot is ambrosia salad.
I like it. My grandmother made it every year.
My grandmother made it also, and I love ambrosia salad. And I think it's probably the mixture of everything that's in there. So if it's too runny, that's probably gross.
Yeah.
If you have too many of the maraschino cherries that are like kind of soggy, I think that's gross. I like coconut. So the more coconut, the better. But some people might disagree and say more coconut or less coconut. So I think it's the mixture of it that makes it good or bad. And again, it's how you eat it. All right. Creamed onions.
This sounded gross. I read the recipe.
I've never had it before. Never heard of it. I know they're those little tiny white onions, I believe.
Yes, they're the pearl onions.
The pearl onions, which I actually like pearl onions, but not in a cream sauce. So I'm not sure. We're going to skip that one. Corn pudding.
Never heard of this until like 2 years ago.
Neither. Well, I've actually never heard of it until this. I mean, I know cream corn casserole. Right. And
this is
again, that like I'm not a corn person unless it's right off, it's summertime corn, but so I don't really love cream corn casserole because again, it's a little too sweet for me, and corn is probably the worst vegetable. If you want to ask me, I hate corn.
I did not grow up eating a lot of corn, so it's a weird
wonderful.
vegetable.
Any other time, if it comes any other way, I'm just like, that's gross. So and then we're back to caramelized sweet potatoes. That's like the same thing,
Yeah,
sweet,
it's the same thing.
It's like sweet on sweet. You're biting into it and you feel your teeth just rotting away.
Feel diabetes hitting your veins.
Cavities galore. Green bean casserole.
I don't mind this. Like seasonally, I don't want to eat it all the time. And I actually found some really neat recipes online for it. But
so here's the thing for me. If you have too much sauce in it and it's too mushy, it's almost like you just boiled those beans. Please cook this with real beans. Yes, don't bring out the fresh, like cut them up, cut the tips off, slice them correctly and cook with that. If you're cooking with the frozen or gross can, no. It's a disgusting casserole. But if you're cooking with the real thing, it's a delicious casserole. It just depends.
I
me.
agree.
I kind of like my veggies like
al dente.
Al dente.
How I like mine.
Yeah. I don't want them too mushy. And I find that I don't eat green bean casserole often because 9 out of 10 times it's too mushy for me and too much of the sauce. All right, mac and cheese.
I have told everybody this is the weirdest thing to me. And I know when I grew up, we didn't have mac and cheese as a side dish. I had not heard of this until a couple of years ago. I know Brandy's probably not watching, but Brandy, I didn't know that mac and cheese was a side dish until you told me. Because when I grew up, my mom didn't have a lot of money. And so mac and cheese was like a meal. We'd have a box of mac and cheese.
Yeah, no, we didn't have boxes of anything. It was all I mean, the box of the pasta. But yeah, my mom makes a mean mac and cheese, and if you have like 10 bites of it, you just gain 40 pounds, but it's so freaking delicious. And she made a lot of pasta dishes for like church events and stuff. So this was always
Seems
on
like
our table.
It would be something for
Well,
that.
it's easy to make. It's actually quite cheap. So if you don't have a lot of money, it's probably one of the cheaper ones. But the way my mom make it, it's not cheap because of the amount of things that she puts into it to make it so delicious. But we try not to have it or have large portions of it because it is really, really fattening, but it's really delicious. My mom's like Paula Deen, but she doesn't have diabetes, and she doesn't say things that you should not say in public.
Ham,
or on
negative.
Ham, you're not a ham person. I'm okay with ham. I don't mind ham at all. I don't want to eat it all the time. So it says here wet stuffing. And we go online to find, we were like, well, what is everyone else's worst holiday side dishes? Because we had a couple that we thought of on our own, but we wanted to get more. So other ones that came up, it all depends on the stuffing. If it's wet,
I don't want dry
and
stuffing.
Runny, right? I don't want dry
I
either.
don't want it to be like,
On another one, it was like oyster stuffing.
Oyster stuffing is delicious.
Bomb. I mean, that's amazing. We can't have it in our house because of fish allergies. But like, I know Troy made it before, and it was amazing. Mm-hmm. So, and my mom's stuffing is amazing, but it's not wet. It's not dry. Again, and I can cook everything that she does, just not as good, unfortunately.
You'll get there.
But I have all of the recipes. It's just, she knows like little things that I always forget. But wet stuffing, that sounds gross. Absolutely disgusting.
I've never heard of this. Soup as a Thanksgiving side.
No.
But I love soup. Soup is delicious.
Butternut squash, cauliflower, split pea. Those all sound decent. I mean, I've never had a cauliflower soup. They make cauliflower everything now. Cauliflower pizza, pasta.
Yes, you can get that at Whole Foods, actually.
Right,
and
exactly.
They make it fresh.
All right, this is my number one least favorite.
Potatoes au gratin. My mom used to make this, and I'm sorry, but I don't like this, Mom. I've never liked this dish.
Again, it just... I don't know. It's like never cooked right. It's either too mushy or some of them are too hard. I don't like the sauce that it's in. I don't like how it's cooked. So it's my least favorite. And because it's just too mushy. Right.
Cranberry relish. Never heard of it.
Me neither. I mean, I'm assuming it's raw cranberries are super tart. It looks like how my mom possibly makes actual cranberry sauce, which is, fresh cranberries and boiling them.
I've never thought creamed spinach is on here. I've never thought of that as a Thanksgiving side.
I mean, unless it's like spinach and artichoke dip on the side that you're eating.
I don't mind creamed spinach. I'll have that as like a side, but it has to be made right. This in the picture is way too creamy for me. But
yeah, exactly. I agree.
But like I like collard greens for a Thanksgiving side. I mean, or I like those.
We never had
sides.
that. You'll get that at like the church events. Somebody makes collard greens. I like collard greens. I
learned how to make them as an adult, and I love them because I never had them as a kid. Right. So now I'm all about them. Boiled Brussels sprouts next on the list. Brussels sprouts are great.
They're so delicious.
Why are you boiling your vegetables?
Boil them, not boil them.
Yes, they missed a letter.
Boil. You missed. Right, but these are clearly boiled. Anything boiled is just, in terms of veggies, just gross. So what is your favorite?
My favorite side, oyster stuffing.
Okay. I mean, oyster stuffing is really good.
Because I only have it one time a year.
So my mom makes this acre pea dish, and it's so good. I love acre peas. You can only find them at Ward's most of the time. She goes to Ward's, buys 2 big bags, and cooks them. And you can either have them on rice or not on rice. And then you cut up, and I know you don't like this, but I love doing it on a lot of dishes. You cut up fresh onions, white onions, or yellow onions, and put it on top. Bless you. And you put it on top. It is so amazing. So that's probably my favorite, other than a good turkey.
Good turkey, stuffing, of course.
Right, with,
Since I only have stuffing once a year, I'm like, that's naturally going to be my favorite. My least is 100% anything that includes a sweet potato.
Yeah, and mine is that potatoes au gratin. So gross. Honestly, anything boiled or anything that just has too much sauce.
If you want to prove us wrong about any of the dishes, we'll be at our office Tuesday and Wednesday. That's 5213 Southwest 91st Terrace in the Hale Plantation Village. You can bring it in for critiquing. We will try not to get Gordon Ramsay on you. Just joking.
Probably won't. We'll take a little taste.
Take a taste. Right. If it's good, we'll ask for seconds. But, cool. Well, there's the holiday Thanksgiving edition. Yay.
Thanks for joining us. Hopefully you have some dishes you love and hate and want to post about. we'll let you know what we think of your decisions, of your opinions.
We'll give you our personal opinions.
Of course, you have to bring it in to make sure that we can agree with you.
Taste testings are needed. We didn't even really get into desserts, but
no, we didn't. That's true.
Well, hopefully you don't hold it against us. But if you have a property that you need to manage, we would be happy to manage it, despite our feelings on certain vegetables and Thanksgiving side dishes. You can reach us at 352-213-6410 at K&R Property Management.
I almost went with my number right there, 213-6760. 6410. All right, if you're looking to get into real estate or change your career, just have questions about what it's like to be a realtor, email us at join@buysellrebell. We'll let you know all the good and bad, but mostly the good because we want you to come over.
And if you're looking to get social, you can find us on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, LinkedIn, and YouTube. Like and subscribe.
Yes. We love our YouTube page. Come watch it. All right. And if you're wanting more information about Rabell Realty Group or what's going on in the real estate market or just anything local, we have a blog. Did you know that? And we talk about it on our blog. It's at buysellrebell.com/blog.
And we would like to thank the Fiesta Media for putting on this podcast for us. If you're interested in a podcast, you can reach them at 352-327-5089.
Thank you, Fiesta Media. And thank you, everyone. Happy Thanksgiving. We're very thankful for you and everyone who watches our podcast, follows all of our social media, but definitely our YouTube page. So happy Thanksgiving.
Happy Thanksgiving.